Hello and welcome to Weekly Weird News, brought to you by Cutting the Bun and the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always, I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hello.
This is our sister show to Cutting the Bun and the Post-Truth Apocalypse, where we delve into the world of internet madness for a week. We find the weirdest news articles we can find and present them to you in a one after the other, easy to follow format. It's called Weird News. Let's do it. As we're recording this, which is the week that the Queen Elizabeth II has passed away, we've got to have some Queen-related news.
Yeah.
Because it's all that's in the fucking news at the moment. I had to go on Twitter to find out how the war in Ukraine was going.
Why? Why do you want to know how it's going?
Because the Ukrainians have launched a counter-attack.
Have
The
they?
tanks have gone forward, they've been building up, they've pushed back at them. And I wanted to know how it was going. All that's on the BBC is the fucking Queen. But we do get a bank holiday, so we're alright.
Hey.
But even so. So the royal beekeeper must inform Paris bees that the Queen has died in a bizarre tradition.
Does he do a little dance?
We'll find out.
Do a little
dance.
dance.
Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. John Chappell, the official Paris beekeeper, made the poignant journey to the hive yesterday after news of the Queen's death, where he carried out the ancient ritual. The bizarre ancient tradition has seen the royal beekeeper tell Paris bees the Queen has died. In whispered tones, the insects have been informed they have a new master, King Charles III.
And they're going to understand him.
Darth King Charles III.
I love that they inform they have a new master.
Yeah.
So, I am above your queen.
Well, we've been told we've had a new master too.
Yeah, but they're bees.
And we're humans.
They've already got a queen. They've got like a double queen at this point.
No, it's just some symbolic bullshit in it.
Oh, it's kind of sweet.
The sad news was broken to the bees at hives in the grounds of Buckingham Palace and Clarence House. John Chappell, 79, the official Paris beekeeper, made the journey to the locations on Friday after news of the Queen's death. Black ribbons were then tied in bows on the hives where thousands of bees live.
And he killed the queens. So we knew how it felt.
He didn't kill the queens.
He went over, grabbed the queen, and whispered to the bees, "You know you've all got a queen? Well, guess what? We did as well. But now she's gone." Squeezes it and says, "Now you know how we feel."
Now you
And then just like disappears away.
Now you have a new master, King Charles III.
Here's the king of all bees.
Have we checked that Charles isn't actually a giant bee?
We haven't. Should I do a quick fact check?
I think you should go to London and frisk him immediately. If he's got a stinger, he's a bee.
I
Well,
think you could take off with them ears.
I won't check it. I won't check it out on Google. I'll use my non-censored one. Is King Charles really a bee?
So
No,
what's
he's
his name
not.
again? Mr. Chappell told Mail Online, "I'm at the hives now," so I presume he's on the phone to them. "And it's traditional when someone dies that you go to the hives and say a little prayer and put a black ribbon on the hives. I drape them with a black ribbon on a bow. The person who has died is the master or mistress of the hives. Someone important in the family who dies, and you don't get any more important than the Queen, do you? So you knock on each hive and say, 'The mistress is dead, but don't you go. Your master will be a good master to you.'"
But he's coming for you, honey.
Mr. Chappell said he carried out the ritual at hives at Clarence House and Buckingham Palace. He cares for more than 1 million bees overall, but numbers dropped by late summer. Clarence House has 2 hives and Buckingham Palace has 5. And there's estimated 20,000 insects at the moment. During summer months, over 1 million buzz around the hives, and the official palace beekeeper has run the bees for 15 years, but did not realise that informing the bees was part of the job.
I wonder how much he's paid to be the royal beekeeper.
I honestly don't know. I mean, he's
Minimum wage,
79,
probably.
so he's doing it with the love, maybe? I don't know. He's retired, says there, so he's just doing it for the love, I guess.
Does it for the title? Royal Beekeeper.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than Privy of the Stool. Genuinely, that was a title. Henry VIII had a Privy of the Stool, they wiped his arse.
Nasty.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Royal beekeepers is better. There's one thing this funeral's going to have when we get the day off for the funeral.
Bees.
God, wouldn't that be ironic? Wouldn't that
Unleash the bees!
be into the
Instead
crowd?
of doves, bees.
What if all them bees turned up to the funeral?
Yeah.
But shaped like a man. Because they all like fly together in unison.
Wearing a black suit in the shape of a
Like a
person.
big giant person.
Well, men, there's like, it could be 20,000 of them. We're going to be more than. There's going to be a lot of bee people in that crowd.
No, it's not just going to be them. They're going to be like calling all their mates.
Yeah.
And going like, oh, get the buzz and come over.
Get the
See what I did there? See what I did?
Mocking my accent, yeah, very nice.
But do you know what though? That's sad news. They must have all really lost all their buzz as well. Really.
You're like getting the punk crowd.
Right buzz kill.
No punk.
It was a right buzz kill, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, know that.
They might morph into the Queen Elizabeth herself, won't they?
Does anyone see that
Claire,
cloud?
honestly, don't. I was just at the cloud. Oh my god.
Over, it was seen in Lawley, and then it was seen in lots of different places all
it's
around
a cloud.
Telford.
Looks like anything you want it to.
It does kind of look.
It
a little
does
bit
looks
like,
nothing like a bee.
You can see
It looks
in
nothing like a.
You can see it like a side-on view of someone wearing a hat.
Someone wearing a hat.
Oh yeah.
So someone's in a cloud that looks like
Could be
a
Jack the
queen
Ripper.
and thinks it's some sort of like, omen or something.
I sent Mike one the other night. Is oh look, a double rainbow over Buckingham Palace and somewhere Balmoral as she died. It's just to know, let us know she's gone to heaven. Oh, fuck off! Fuck off! No, not having it.
No.
Fair enough. Ben's not having it.
Oh, it's the 21st century. Why are we still fucking even posting shit like that?
Oh, I saw
That
that.
does look a bit-
I saw it. Oh, I thought it looked like.
What are you looking at? You have to
Yeah.
tell the rest of us this is audio only.
You do know. It does look when you look at
It looks
that.
nothing like it. It's a
So it's
fucking
baby
blob of a
fucking
clown.
goat. Look at the ears.
Yeah, but it does, but it's pareidolia, isn't
Of
it?
course it is. But lots of people saw it. It's like, yeah, okay, I understand why people thought that. 'Cause it does look a
Yeah,
bit
because
like...
everyone's thinking of the Queen.
Yeah, but when you look at the Queen with the hat, she
Oh, for
always
Christ's
wore.
sake, stop trying to defend it. It's a fucking cloud.
I think it was... Look, there's another one there.
That looks
Oh,
like-
great.
that looks
Another
like
cloud.
I know. Looks like the UK.
Okay, let's move on from the cloud, shall we?
What?
Get out in the clouds.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Next up, Red Arrow pilot had to drive at 400 miles per hour with his knees.
What? Why? What's wrong with his feet?
His hands fell off.
Yeah, his hands just oh shit. I mean, flying planes too loud. That's what happens when you fly
He
planes
stuck
too
his
long.
hands at the cockpit and he got frostbite. didn't he?
Yeah, maybe. Seems a bit daft, but
He obviously had to operate something else with his hands.
The pilot recalled the moment he had to fly at 400 miles per hour using his knees after colliding with a seagull at an air show.
oof.
What's he doing?
Red
with his
6
knees?
squadron leader Gregor Ogston had to abandon the Rill air show mid-routine on August the 28th when a seagull flew into the jet's canopy. He told how he had to close his eyes and duck while travelling at 400 miles per hour towards another aircraft, reports Lincolnshire Live. He said it was quite an eventful day. We were about halfway through the show and just started the more dynamic second half of the display. I was running down the display line at 100 feet, going around 400 miles per hour, pointing at Red 7, where out of the corner of my eye I saw a seagull in my peripheral vision. I closed my eyes and ducked at that point
Fuck.
because it was so close and the bird hit the canopy, which unfortunately shattered. The bird and lots of the canopy then flew into the cockpit. Fuck me.
No.
The incident happened about 2 seconds before we actually crossed in the middle of the display.
Fuck.
I was almost flying blind briefly for a couple of seconds, and thankfully, with complete trust in Red 7 coming the other way, whose job it is to avoid me, the aircraft whizzed past my left wing as my canopy shattered around me.
There's a picture there of the fucking...
You know.
Fuck.
You see the seagull on... Is that the seagull there on his head?
Is that blood?
Bit of blood
it
and...
is- yeah, that's a bit of seagull remnants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing 400 miles an hour, 100 feet above the ground, doing a crossover with the other guy who, fortunately, the seagull didn't hit, because it's his job to avoid you.
Yeah.
Right? If it was the other way round, and the seagull hit him, they're both dead, aren't they?
Yeah.
Fortunately, that guy's just like, shit, grabs a stick with his knees, tries to get the seagull fucking blood and guts out of his eyes.
Nasty.
Yuck.
Yep.
I like the red arrows, though.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
I've never seen them.
You must have seen them, Mike.
Well, I've seen them on TV, but I've never seen them live.
Haven't you?
I've seen them more times than I can genuinely remember.
I've seen them more on telly than I've seen them live.
You would though, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Always living around air bases and that. There was always air shows, and the Red Arrows always turned up an air show.
They do. The attention whores.
British Aerospace as well. They used to just come and train there because they used to make the Hawks in British Aerospace in Wharton, and obviously the Red Arrows are the Hawk 200s, I believe.
They're the Hunter Hawks, yeah.
They're the 200s.
That's the only role they have now, isn't it?
Are they twin seaters? Are they the?
Training ones are twin seaters. I think they're single seaters.
Because that's the difference between the Hawks, the 100 and the 200. The 100 was the one seater, the 200 was the two seater.
Yeah.
But obviously, because they were manufactured there, you'll find they were probably repaired there and all sorts. And just worked on, tinkered on. So yeah, we see the Red Arrows quite often. I remember a bit at primary school, and our school would be giving the heads up, like, oh, they're doing a training display, like. So if you want to watch them, you come out onto your field at 1 o'clock and you can watch the Red Arrows perform, because it was literally like a couple of 100 metres away from the airfield. It was amazing, really. So yeah, I got to see them dozens of times, and yeah, they're always amazing. Even now, if I see them now, it's like I sit there like a big kid, twinkly, starry eyes, kind of looking at them, going, they're amazing.
You do Cosford
Yeah,
every
I've
year.
never been. You only live 10 miles away from Cosford.
I know, but
Yeah, but mate, you try and get into
tickets.
that fucking place.
Yeah, you try getting tickets. After everyone that works at Cosford has got tickets for them and all their family, there's probably a couple of thousand of tickets left,
Yeah.
and they're gone.
I've never actually been into... I mean, so I've got to explain for the listeners around the globe. Cosford is like a local airbase to us. It's what, a 30-minute drive away?
Yeah.
Not even that.
10 miles.
It's 10 miles
takes
away.
about 20 minutes to get there.
And they have this big air display every year, and obviously you have different planes flying around. And the Red Arrows always turn up. I've never actually been in to the grounds at Cosford to watch the air show.
You watched it from afar.
We used to watch it from a car park of a gardening centre called Roses and Shrubs, which was about 2 minutes down the road and probably about a mile and a half away from the base perimeter. And their car park, and they used to charge people like a £5 to park there and watch the air show.
Never.
And you'd have to reserve it when they started selling the tickets at Cosford. With a purchase, you could reserve a seat, a place in the car park.
Never.
Yeah. So I've never been in to watch it. I've always watched it from afar. It's mental. It was the car park was fucking full. It was their busiest day of the year.
I bet.
That was the highlight of my childhood, watching an air show from a garden centre car park.
Yeah, that's sad.
No, not really. It was great. Like you say, you know. Anyway,
I got to sit on wings and things like that.
I think it's going to
VIP, you know.
See, the reason I joined the TA is I got to. You saw Paul McCartney.
Did I get bummed by Paul McCartney?
You said you sat on wings.
Were you bummed by Wings and Paul McCartney?
Yeah, I really was.
But my uncle worked at GK and Sankey, so I could drive all the tanks.
Cool.
Which is why I ended up being a tanky rather than joining the Air Force, clearly.
I've been a wanky.
He used to call wanky tankies. Shut up, PBIs. Poor bloody infantry.
Right, moving on.
Yeah.
A builder has been hit by a bottle of pee dropped from a crane in Worthing.
Fucking hell.
Unlucky.
Poor guy was knocked unconscious when he was hit when it was dropped from a 50
gonna say.
metre
Fucking
crane.
50
No.
metre crane, Jesus.
Could have killed him.
No, you don't know that.
Huh?
You'd have an hard hat on, wouldn't he? In that scenario, a bottle of pee and an hard hat probably would have saved his life.
Yeah.
Without the hard hat.
Without the hard hat, he'd be
Could
dead.
have killed him, yeah.
But I have to wear an hard hat at work, and we've got like 500 kilogram pallets in the rack, and like, make sure you wear your hard hat.
Yeah, that
Like,
hard hat ain't going to do
It's not
shit.
gonna do it, is it?
No.
It's the goggles they did not.
Exactly, it's that exact scenario. Oh, my body, the hard hat does nothing.
Yeah, but what the hard hat does, it preserves your head so they can identify you.
They can identify you by tattoos if they want to.
I think it just puts a bit of space in
Not-
between you
not-
and the object, doesn't
Not
it?
when a half-ton pallet squishes you.
Oh, yeah.
Your head's the only thing still alive, like, intact.
Does that mean I get put in a glass tank like in Futurama?
Yeah,
and
man.
cans? Sweet. I can still do the podcast then.
Well, they're building a health centre in Worthing. An eyewitness says the worker was cold out after the bottle hit him on the head. Somebody in the crane did something they're not supposed to. The witness said. So 6 police have also said the health and safety executive will be investigating the incident.
No
I
shit,
think
again.
the crane driver's going to get the sack.
He's going to lose his job and get a very big fine
Yeah.
and no longer be a crane operator.
Yeah. What are the chances though? He's probably just had a piss up there. He's like, oh, maybe he's got too many bottles of piss up there.
I say, why couldn't he just fucking put the lid on and just leave it in there, the dirty bastard?
Maybe he's got no room. Maybe he's got other bottles of piss up there and he needs to get rid of one. I wouldn't do that job, man. Imagine that those high winds fucking rocking that.
Yeah, that's a well-paid job. He's
I mean,
just
obviously,
fucked up.
Obviously there's a certain limit to the winds they can take, but just imagine like you're at that limit. It's like a 15 mile an hour gust and it's like you're just rocking. Oh, I
I
couldn't
was
be doing
watching
that.
a video of
We got
Chinese bridge maintenance engineers, and they walk up the struts.
Oh, they
where
used to do that years ago in America
the top,
too.
yeah, to the top of the,
Yeah, they walk up the wires,
yeah, right to the top of the bridge.
up the cables even.
Fucking mental.
Yeah.
Better paid a lot.
Probably not in
Probably
China,
not,
no.
no.
Maybe not in China, no.
But in-
Look,
I
mean,
lucky
they have-
to get a job.
The Golden Gate Bridge, for example, in America, the one across the bay in, is it Los Angeles?
San Francisco.
San Francisco, sorry, San Francisco.
Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. I mean, that has to get painted every so many years, and they're just walking along the wires with bottles of cans of paint in their hand and brushes in the others. Painting
mad,
the
isn't
shit. They had to paint the cables too. It's
Fuck
mental.
that. I
Are
don't like
they
heights.
wearing harnesses? and
Yeah,
stuff?
they got a harness.
I don't mind height, but yeah, that would be a bit of a...
You know what always gets
Challenge.
What always gets me is that photo of the guys eating their lunch and that girder hanging out. And I was
Yeah.
like, "There's no way on fucking earth
No,
I'd be
no.
sat on that."
That's mental.
No
I'd
way.
be hugging it.
They didn't have
I'd be hugging the fucking...
They didn't have
They
any
didn't have
harnesses.
these,
No.
harnesses on.
I'd be hugging the upright with harnesses attached.
Yeah.
Like, eating my fucking sandwich like kind of...
It is crazy, isn't it? It is. You gotta have fucking balls of steel.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm no good with heights, I admit that, but fuck me, I just... That photo is just like... Every time I see it, I think... Oh, fuck me, there's no way. No way. It gives me a little tingle of fear, that photo does actually, you know.
Little tingle in your willy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
usually ejaculate straight after.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And moving on.
That's different to where I was going, but yeah.
Okay, how you sleep could be, quote, strongest predictor of when you die, study says. Increased sleep fragmentation is the strongest predictor of mortality, according to a new review of studies. Well, this is not good for me because I take naps.
Oh, I like a nap as well.
Naps.
But I'll like this morning, I woke up at 5:30, stayed awake for an hour, then went back to sleep for another hour and a half.
Ooh, sleep fragmentation.
Sleep fragmentation, and I get that a lot when I'm off work.
Cursed you are.
I'm gonna die soon, shit. The research published recently in the journal Digital Medicine have assessed 12,000 studies investigating characteristics of individuals during their sleep, including chin and leg movement, breathing and heartbeat. Scientists, including Emmanuel Mignon from Stanford University, developed a system using machine learning to predict a person's sleep age and identify variations in sleep most closely linked to mortality. Sleep age, they say, is an estimated age of a person based on the characteristics of sleep that are linked to their health. Well, that's not good. Scientists cited the example of Parkinson's disease patients and said that in most cases they violently act out dreams some 5 to 10 years before other symptoms show. I'm not doing that. I'm waking up for a bit and going to sleep. I'm fine then. That's fine. I'm not fucking acting out my dreams. We're good.
See, I normally fall asleep on my sofa, then I'll wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go, oh, I'm on my sofa, I'll go to bed. Then I go to bed and then wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, I always make it to bed and pass the days of sleeping on the sofa. I mean, naps on the sofa, yes.
I've got a reclining chair though, see, so when I'm sat there 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, sat there a bit stoned or something or whatever, or have a few beers or whatever, even just after work, you just sat there, your eyes just going, watching something good, and then that's it then. I open my eyes and then it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're like, telly's turned itself off. You're like, okay. Yeah, I'll go to bed then, shall I?
You, the telly's deserted you at that point.
I know, yeah.
I hate that feature. I know it saves electricity, but it feels very lonely when you wake up and that TV's off.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Assessing different features of individual sleep, the new study found that sleep fragmentation, when people briefly wake up several times a night without remembering it, was the strongest predictor of mortality. Researchers say this kind of sleep disruption is different from when a person realises they are waking up, as reported in sleep disorders like insomnia and sleep apnea. However, it is unclear how sleep fragmentation is linked to the risk of death. To quote Dr. Mignon, he says determining why sleep fragmentation is so detrimental to health is something we plan to study in the future. Well, get on it, Dr. Mignon! Not just like, give me a vague promise of fucking non-fragmented sleep and immortality.
I think it's a load of bollocks, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what? I agree, Pete. I think it's people just sleep differently.
Yeah, I think it's a load of bollocks. My mum's slept for about fucking 3 or 4 hours a night if she's lucky for probably 15, 20 years.
Yeah, but that's insomnia.
But so did Napoleon. Some
rules
people
that
just
out,
need
Pete.
4 hours sleep a night.
It just ruled that out. It said
Yeah, but they're saying
people that wake up in the middle of the night without realising they're waking up.
Right, so how do you know that's...
Well,
do you know you're doing
you've got
it,
no
then?
idea. It's going to be a partner telling you, or you're going to be
Or you've
asleep.
got this skull cap on.
Yeah, you're in like a sleep therapy sort of place.
What if you're lonely like me, and you?
I'm not lonely.
Who do you sleep with? Your housemate? You jump into bed with him, do you, at night?
No.
Let me know if I wake up, mate.
I enjoy having a large bed to myself. I'm not sure if I'm going to get into that habit.
See, my cat produces a detailed report for me every morning.
I just film myself while I'm asleep. Watch myself get possessed by a demon. Go out, kill people, come back covered in blood, shower.
Because he's watched
Get back into sleep.
It's because he's watched all the porn on the internet. Nothing else gets him going anymore. So the only thing he could think of was like
murder porn.
watching himself sleep.
No, I used to invoke an ancient entity and invited it into my body.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Something to do in it.
Well, there's nothing else going on. This is
Well, when you're asleep, yeah, you ain't doing fuck all else.
nothing else going on. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, moving on. Dad thought he was spiked at pub, but he'd actually been bitten by a spider.
Oh, whoa!
Fuck me, that's a blister and a half.
Jesus.
Oh, I'd love to have popped that.
Let's lance it
No,
off.
God,
Yeah.
no.
Let's get the leeches on
I
it.
mean, I'd hate to have it, but I'd love lancing
Makes
it.
me feel
Describe
funny.
to the
that.
listener what that is.
That is this guy. He's a big bloke, and he's got a very big calf. But this blister, my God, it's got to be 6 inches across.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
And it's got a little sister as well above it.
Yeah, and at the bottom,
Yeah.
and it's at least what, 2.5 inches out, and he's just left that. I'd have lanced that fucker as soon as it
That's
came
gotta
up.
be holding, like, I don't know,
half a litre.
500 ml. It's
Yeah.
got to be.
It's got to be 5 pints of liquid.
When Nathan Green woke up the morning after a boozy trip to the pub, he realised he had more than just a hangover. The 50-year-old tug company manager from Lowestoft in Suffolk said he woke up on June the 13th feeling like he'd been run over and thought he'd been spiked. His wife Dawn encouraged him to go to A&E after he noticed a growing blister on the back of his leg. Nathan said, "I was in the beer garden on Sunday. It's my day off and I like to sit there, listen to the band and have a few beers. It was a hot day and I was out in the garden enjoying myself and talking to mates. I felt something go up and tick on my leg a bit, so I brushed my leg like you do. I didn't really think a lot of it. I was drinking away quite merrily, and when I got home I started shaking and felt cold. I felt rough and remember thinking, this ain't right."
This isn't right.
I felt really, really ill. He said by the next day his ankle was bright red and 3 times the size it should be. By the time I got to A&E, it turned into a small football. Every time I looked at it, it got bigger. The woman looked at it and said, "You've been bitten by a false widow spider."
You've been bitten by a false widow spider, you have, mate.
See, this is why
That's what it is.
This is why false widows should be fucking squished if you see them, because they can be nasty.
I don't even know what one looks like.
A bit like a black widow.
That looks like every spider to me.
It's got a skull on the back, hasn't it?
It's got a very fat, black, shiny abdomen.
Right.
With like a black widow has got like a red flash on the back.
Yeah.
And the false widow,
It's just black.
It's got a skull on the back.
yeah.
A skull on the back.
Yeah.
Because, well,
Isn't it like
weirdly,
a whitish grey.
Yeah.
It's like
White on black, I think.
Yeah.
I wonder if I've got one in the house then, because I found 3 spider corpses earlier that had, like, all died within close proximity of each other.
Might not have been a spider corpse. It could have been its exoskeleton.
Oh, I still got 3 spiders lurking around.
Yeah.
Now,
That
one was
bigger.
definitely legs.
That are bigger.
I
Than,
named one called Legs because he had massive legs.
yeah. So if that
So-
is the exoskeleton, not the actual spider, you've got a bigger version of that still alive,
Motherfucker.
and bigger versions of the other 2 still alive,
They were smaller.
but they're bigger now.
Is that a false widow?
Yeah.
I had one of them in my fucking kitchen ages ago. Last year called a Jeff.
Yeah. Kill them fuckers if you ever come across them, because they aren't nice at all. They, as you've just seen.
Hang on,
by this-
no, it wasn't Jeff. That wasn't Jeff.
As you've just seen by this bit of news, they
No, Jeff
give
was
them nasty
fatter than
bite.
that.
Like, they're not deadly like a black widow, but you don't want that, do you?
No, you don't. I don't like spiders. I'm not a fan of spiders. I'm more tolerant of them nowadays. I'm still not a fan.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, fuck black widow. I killed one a couple of months back. Me and the kids found one just outside the front of our house. It had a really thick web, and it was just in the corner. And I was like, "That's a fucking false widow." That. So I got a brush.
Flamethrower.
I just got a brush, and I
Yeah.
just like squished it with the end of the brush, and it literally popped. It went,
No.
and like all the juices went. Oh, it was horrible. Oh,
Spiders
nasty.
that die in fire. Get a deodorant can and a lighter next time.
Poor bugger.
Yep. And finally...
Still fucking lance that shit.
So a woman terrorised by a neighbour who bangs on her door at all hours wearing creepy mask.
That's it much, innit?
A homeowner who installed cameras on the front of the door after being terrorised at all hours by a neighbour has captured terrified footage of someone wearing a Halloween mask. Now when this says Halloween mask, they literally mean the mask from Halloween, so it's Michael Myers?
Yeah.
Michael Myers mask. So she said she called the police after the harassment escalated as she shared a video of the masked person dancing creepily in front of her door. Posting a video on Reddit, she captioned, "Nightmare neighbour has been harassing me for months." In the footage taken from the front door of what appears to be a block of flats, shows the person wearing a mask worn by fictional murderer Michael Myers in the movie Halloween. They approach the door, doing a strange dance before swearing at the camera and shuffling off.
Well, 2 things to take away from this, really. Right? First of all, I really admire his commitment. He's been doing this for months. Right?
Has he actually done anything?
He hasn't broke the law in any way.
No.
He's just been a dick. And I kind of admire his commitment to the role. Second of all, at least she knows it's a neighbour and not the actual Michael Myers.
Or some crazy, creepy
Or
killer.
someone's going to kill her in her sleep.
He might
Well, he might do.
Well, yeah.
But as he's been advertising himself for months on a camera, it's really likely he's not going to, because the police are just like, oh, there's clearly that guy in it.
And it's now on the news as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but banging on the door at all hours.
Yeah.
Oh, it's inconvenient. I'm just saying those are 2 plus points to it. Well, one for him and one for her.
I'd just dress up like totally. I'd go to town on my makeup, and one day just open the door and scare the shit out of him with a knife, something blood coming off it. I don't know.
Would you go as Jason Voorhees, would you?
No, I'd
And
go,
be like Jason versus Michael?
I don't know.
Go as Freddy.
And I hire some Armenian gangsters to cut off his feet and hands.
Mike, can I just ask a question? Right, have you ever been in contact with any Armenian gangsters?
Not recently, no.
Not recently. Have you ever asked them to cut off anyone's feet and hands for you?
No, but I'm sure they'll do it.
If you would, how much would it cost? just purely out of interest.
Roughly.
Roughly, an estimate.
Sure they'll do it for 20 quid, wouldn't they?
3 quid.
Armenian gang.
Alright, half 3. I'll bring you the money tomorrow. Wow.
I'm surprised the police haven't come round and knocked on his door and said, pack it in.
I'm surprised that Mike's connections to the Armenian underworld.
Don't talk about the past.
Oh man, Mike was like John Wick once. Underneath the floorboards of his flat there's a box full of coals and a gun.
And the mighty have fallen, eh?
There's a boogeyman.
Gold prices are up at the minute. Get it sold and...
Oh man. Mike was once John.
Should have get someone to cut your hands and feet off.
Alright, Michael Wick.
You know what, I'll give you $60 next week. I want 3 doing. I think we're going to have the show on that.
On that bombshell.
On that bombshell. I'm Ben. Thanks for listening. You can follow us on Facebook at Cutting the Bun, the Pull Through the Apocalypse, YouTube at Apocalypse Ball, and on most podcasting platforms, but especially SoundCloud, at Cutting the Ball and the PTA. And I say, if you are going to fly a jet at 400 miles an hour, 100 feet above the ground, with your knees, with seagull entrails in your eyes, covering your face, the carcass of the bird splattered everywhere around you, then at least you're playing Kenny Loggins. Welcome to the danger zone.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
And I've been Claire, don't be chucking no pee out of any cranes, high buildings or anything.
And I've been Pete. Stop knocking on people's doors dressed as Michael Myers.
But at least they know it's not the real Michael Myers.
But it's just so 1980s. Come on.
People love vintage, you know.
At least go Godzilla or something.
Well, that's just not scary though, is it? Well,
Bigfoot.
Godzilla's scary, yeah. If he's attacking your city.
And he's not
But
the
if he's
size
not,
of a man.
If he's the size of a man and ringing your doorbell, you're like, well, that's not Godzilla, that's just a bloke.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was thinking of a life-size Godzilla.
Well, yeah, but he won't be able to get down to ring your doorbell.
Why wouldn't he?
Well, depends how much yoga he does, I guess. Because, I mean, if he's like 50 feet tall and you've got a first floor apartment,
Maybe he uses
he's
a
going to
minion.
squat down a long way.
He's got a
and
minion.
use. How big are Godzilla's arms?
I don't know, but he just uses his big toe now, wouldn't he? To
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
If he's got to be pretty accurate with it, he needs a camera, doesn't he?
Godzilla!
Just Godzilla on cameras on his toe claws. So
Yeah,
he
of
goes
course he does. Mecha Godzilla does.
Well, Mecha Godzilla would you?
Yeah,
Clearly.
there you go. Boom. Good night.